Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome back to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. In their last game, the 49ers continued to struggle, dropping their third game in a row, looking lost on offense and disjointed on defense. This was a defensive unit that early in the season showed signs of being one of the best in the league and now looks average at best. I wish there was one area to point to and say, if they address that, everything gets better. But what you're seeing is a team full of talent not realizing their potential. First, thank you to our Patreon members. You truly do make these videos possible. Consider joining them if you can. If I were to boil their struggles down to one word, it would be trust. Guys are pressing out of position, Wilks is trying to make up on calls, and overall, it's unsound football. Not the kind of standard that San Francisco's had the past 4 seasons. High standards are what we're used to. It's why I'm so excited about Manscaped's newest product, the Lawnmower 5.0. It's the newest innovation in male grooming. It's got all the features you've come to expect from Manscaped. Waterproof, features an ultra bright LED flashlight for all those hard to see places, is compact to carry on the go, comes with 3 different length guards, has a high quality travel case, features their legendary skin safe technology, and now comes with an interchangeable trimming head with a foil shaving head so you can be as hairless as you want with all the comfort and features you've known. You can get yours at manscaped.com and use promo code JFA to get 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com and promo code JFA. So let's jump to the film and see what San Francisco's problems are and what they need to correct during their bye week. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. I think like myself, a lot of us saw this play early on and figured it was going to be a long day, but a guy like Joe Burrow is paid what he's paid and is top of the league for a reason. He's going to make a few plays like this. It's all the routine plays that you have to clamp down on. But from the end zone, I don't like the execution. I've talked about the marriage of good coverage and good pass rush. Here we have good coverage initially, but the pass rush is not executed well. First, this is not how we used to run this kind of play, and I'm not sure if this is a Wilks thing or Fred Warner just isn't playing it the same way. It feels like Wilks has changed some of the rules that Fred used to use on these plays. You used to see Fred sit over the guard like this right up until the snap. Why? Because that forced the guard to account for him up until the ball was snapped, so you had definitive one-on-one blocking, and it kept the guard's eyes toward the single rusher side. Fred backs out right before the snap. This is going to allow the guard to then look to help either way, and before you'd see the guard have to widen, here he retreats and is able to condense the space that Armstead is trying to use by crossing the face of the center. They want to open up a rush lane for Bosa on a stunt. I also don't like the way Hargrave executes this. If this were a pass rush rep, he'd be doing good, but his job is to set up Bosa by occupying the outside shoulder of the guard. Attack, close the distance, and force that guard to hook you. Keep your body in close, grab on. We all used to see Justin Smith do this all the time for Aldon Smith, but he presses and it actually helps the guard disengage and pick up Bosa on the stunt. There's details here that just aren't being executed right. Then later, you can't give up big chunks on the ground. And this is good design by Cincinnati to go after our wide 9, but there's multiple levels of not so good here. This is an RPO or run pass option, and they have what's called a wham play up the middle. It's a trap play where the guard over Armstead will pick up the end man, with the tackle going up on Warner, the center will pick up Greenlaw, the guard Z down on Kinlaw, and the tackle will pull and kick out Armstead. First, we're a gap scheme, so each man is responsible for one gap, but you also have to squeeze those gaps. The wider they are, the harder they are to fill. At the snap, Kinlaw needs to be able to squeeze his man much better. Also, Armstead gets ejected from the hole, and Greenlaw is, well, trying to do too much. His gap is the A gap, where the ball goes. He's trying to slip the block of the center, but he runs himself out of the play. He has to force this run at worst to his left because that's where all your help is. And I can tell you, this is not how the 49ers have played the run in the past. Then we give up a touchdown. And one thing I've seen float around a ton is that Wilks is playing too much zone and that he needs to play man more. That's not what the tape is showing at all. D'Amico Ryans ran zone more than anyone else in the league last year, and Wilkes came in from Carolina running man over a third of the time, or about 8 to 10 more times a game than Ryans. On this drive, we got busted in zone a few times, and so Wilkes is going to be in man coverage on 2nd and long, believing the pass is coming, and he also likes to run man in the red zone. The difference between Ryans and Wilkes is that Ryans wouldn't back away from a coverage after it got beat. And we also had checks in Ryan's calls that would show man, and when a team motioned to bunch sets or to reveal man coverage, we would check to zone. Here, Cincinnati motions across into a bunch formation, and with Oliver traveling, reveals man coverage. With the single safety, cover one man. Note that Cincinnati is on the near hash. They're running a double post with a wheel route. This is not dissimilar to when in basketball teams run an isolation play. You're clearing out the entire wide side of the field and putting your receiver one-on-one with Oliver in a ton of space. To me, this is on Wilkes. I hate the idea of not being ready for this. Oliver has been getting picked on in man coverage, and this is way too easy for the Bengals. Granted, it's a great throw and catch, but all Cincinnati had to do was get to the near hash, bunch this up, and they got exactly what they wanted. There should be a check here. Then you're going to see more just a tick slow on stuff and giving up big plays. This is a screen, and it's the same design on a screen that Arizona tried to hit on us that looks to attack how we match out of our cover 3 to clear out one side and hit a screen. Warner and Greenlaw are just a tick slow. Don't take the best of angles, and they get a big chunk gain. I put out on Twitter that I felt Fred Warner had one of his worst games, and it's stuff like this. Here, they're running a toss play, we're in palms coverage, and there's a disconnect in how we play these extended gaps. As it's set up, Greenlaw and Hufanga have outside contain. That's their job. They're going to try and funnel things towards Fred Warner, but Fred takes outside. Why? It's like guys are pressing to make a play, not play sound. Fred over pursues, and what should be a 1 or 2 yard gain at most is a 5 yard gain. Those are the kinds of plays you can't have. It's not a big play, but has an impact. 2nd and 5 is a lot different than 2nd and 8. Again, not to beleaguer the point, but like I said on Twitter, Fred did not play to his standard. Here, we're in cover 3 zone, and the Bengals are running a scissors concept with a flat route. Fred is a hook curl player, but like I said about trust, when he sees a running back out in the flat, he thinks Burrow is about to check it down and moves to rally, but he's vacating his zone and it leaves the middle of the field wide open. Bosa had a good rush, but you're leaving the middle of the field wide open. And then you have a missed tackle by Greenlaw. These two linebackers are supposed to be the best tandem in the league, and for good reason, but they have not been playing like it. This stuff is just so frustrating, and we're just 2 drives into this game. This is again good design by Cincinnati. They're coming with a reverse look, but we'll run up inside it. First, this is the compounding problems of when you have breakdowns in coverage leading to guys up front pressing to make a play. Bosa ignores the run look and overruns this, looking to get a sack, and you can't have that. You don't have an edge, you don't have a chance. Second, you got 3 guys who aren't getting off their blocks, and you can't have that. This is not physical 49ers play. This all leads to a play then when you jump off sides and you kind of half-heartedly play, and again, you get abused in man coverage. Y'all, there is a lot not to like here. Back on another drive, it's 3rd and 9, and one thing I saw so many times, I believe there were over 10 missed tackles in the game. That's just not good enough. It's 3rd and 9, and Hufanga gets juked out by Joe Burrow. He's got to get back to the fundamentals, break down, track the belt buckle, and make a solid tackle. I don't even like diving low. If Burrow slides, you most likely make helmet-to-helmet contact, and it's a further 15 yards. Hufanga is in position to make a tackle short of the line to gain, but nope, it's a first down on a quarterback draw on 3rd and 9. Here it is again, first down. You force an underneath throw. You have to make the tackles in this area, not give up yards after the catch for a first down. We also have not played the run well enough. This is just too easy for an offense. They're just running an inside zone. We're a one-gap defense. There's no blockers getting up on the second level. This is poor recognition by Greenlaw. He's not reading the linemen. Linebackers are taught, and Greenlaw has usually been exceptional on this, that if the linemen fire out low, it's a run. You don't have your eyes in the backfield. He's watching Burrow. It's just not 49ers football. The thing is, there's some stuff you can put on the players, some of it on Wilks, some of it both. Richard Sherman talked on his podcast about how Wilks needs to get the defense back to what they do well, which is cover 3 on early downs and then get after the passer on later downs. Here's an example. This is coming out of the half, first down. We're in press man coverage, and Burrow is going to an alert fade stop. Tight coverage, but a fair amount of contact. Okay, well, if I'm Steve Wilks, do I run this a second time in a row? We saw what the Bengals are going to do against this here. Next play, they run the same thing, but this time put Jamar Chase on the route and draw pass interference. And there's a lot of bad to highlight in this game, so we'll end it here, as I felt like this is a play that pushed Cincinnati past the breaking point of the defense. Burrow gets a big scramble. This is a case where you have rare opportunities for one-on-ones and these guys aren't rushing as one and using their space. We're using Hargrave in a plugger roll, where he'll cross the face of the guard and draw a double from the center. This gives one-on-one rushes for Bosa, Farrell, and Armstead, and this is where the wide 9 has the advantage. It creates space for those 3 rushers to have two-way rush opportunities. But they have to be on the same page on who's going where so that you don't just give up big lanes for the quarterback to escape. Then you see how defensive players are going for the splash play and not playing sound. Mooney Ward has the chance for a tackle on Burrow, but goes for the peanut punch. While forcing a turnover is great, too many times they gave up extra yards and let the offense move down the field on them by trying to force a fumble. Overall, it was a really poor performance by the defense, something that hopefully having the bye week last week and the galvanizing trade for Chase Young has sparked in the team to get back to the fundamentals, play within the system and the call, and perform at the level that they are capable of. They have the talent to be a Super Bowl caliber defense, but aren't playing anything close to it. So let's see if this week against the Jaguars they're able to get their mojo back. Stay tuned later this week for a breakdown of the offense off this game as well. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Niners.